Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
So, you just started using LinkedIn Premium. Now what? Well, on your premium company page, you noticed around 7.5 times more page engagement and 5 times more page views. Well done. And now, new clients are messaging you. All because you're using LinkedIn Premium, which helps you get the business growth you want. Think big, small business. Think big. Start your free trial at linkedin.com/premium small business. That's linkedin.com/premium small business.
2 hours later, when I got home with the painting, it did not match my decor. The colors were off. It wasn't like it was what I seen in the parking lot.
This is the plaintiff, Charles Strone. He says he bought a painting from the defendant, and when he got it home and compared it to the Craigslist ad he found it on, he noticed the colors were way off. The defendant pulled a fast one on him, sold him a painting that didn't match his color scheme, and he wants a refund, which the defendant refuses to give him. Well, we'll see about that. He's suing for $300, the amount he paid for the bogus painting. This is the defendant, Maria Shue. She says the plaintiff bought a very specific 36-inch by 36-inch painting called Sleepless in New York that she painted and seemed happy when she delivered it to him. Next day, the crazed guy rambled on and on about colors not being right for his motif and demanded a refund. Then he showed up at her door like he was stalking her. Bottom line, she paints to eat, sold him what he wanted, and she isn't giving a refund. She's accused of painting herself right into a corner.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn in.
Thank you, Douglas. Charles Strome?
Yes.
You are suing Mireya Shue for $300, the cost of a painting that you purchased from her off of the, well, it wasn't really off of the internet. You saw it on the internet, but you purchased it in person, correct?
Correct.
Okay. What's going on?
Well, Your Honor, on March 6th, I was searching the internet and found a painting, Sleepless in New York, by Mrs. Defendant, and I sent her a text, and
you told her you were interested, and how much was the painting on being sold for?
It was sold for $600, and I sent a text saying, nice painting, but, you know, I can't afford that.
Okay.
Okay, and she said she would open for offers, so I offered her $275, and she came back and said $300, it's yours. So I said, fine. She said, meet me at the Kroger's parking lot.
Because you're both from where?
Ohio.
Okay.
And we met, and we exchanged. I had $300 cash I gave her.
Wait, she had the painting with her?
She had the painting in her trunk.
Okay, so you saw the painting first, right?
Correct, in the trunk.
Okay, so you saw the painting, you liked the painting, and then you gave her the $300.
Right.
And then what happens?
2 hours later, when I got home with the painting, it did not match my decor. The colors were off. It wasn't like it was what I seen in the parking lot.
What do you mean it wasn't like it was? It was exactly like it was. Just the lighting's different.
The lighting and
you
it
have
just
your
didn't.
Yeah, but what? Did you ever speak with her before you bought the painting, asking her what the return policy was and whether or not she would refund your money if it didn't look right, or could she come to your home? That way you could see how it would look at your home, or none of that ever happened. You met in a parking lot, You looked at the painting, you loved it, you gave her $300, you came home, colors off.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. So I asked her if she'd take it back. She agreed.
She agreed to take it back?
Yes.
And give you your money back?
Yes.
She agreed to give you your money back?
Yes.
So you could just waste her time like that. Did you ever
Correct.
agree to give him his money back?
I offer him to exchange it.
Okay, that makes more
said,
sense.
I have a
That
website.
he could come and see the rest of your art,
Yes.
and he would get a $300 credit
Yes.
and bring you back
I
that.
actually have a website he can choose, and I have exhibits. So the paintings were on exhibit on Kahana City Hall.
Okay.
Everything is on display.
All right. So, and what happens?
Well, first of all, I have a text here where she agreed to take it back.
Okay. Let me see the
Okay.
text.
You want his phone?
No, I'd prefer it in your phone.
Do you have that text on
I
your
don't like
phone?
to see it on paper because people can alter paper. I like to see it in the phone in context. Do you have your phone?
I have my phone.
Okay, so take a second. I know we asked you to turn it off when you walked into court, but take a moment and turn it on and let me see it in your phone. While he's looking for that, according to you, you never say to him, I'll refund your money.
I told him I can exchange it.
Right.
If you are not completely happy with your piece, I can change it, or I can refund your money after few weeks if you are not completely happy.
Oh, so you did say that you would
Yes.
refund his money
Yes.
after a few weeks if he was not
Yes.
completely happy.
But
And this is all after the sale.
after the sale,
Okay, and you agree that that's, you don't have to keep looking, she just admitted it. You agree that that was after the sale, not before the sale.
Correct.
Okay, then what happened?
then he didn't call me. He emailed me thousands of times insisting to get back to the place at night. It was really late, and I said, no way.
Go back to what place? The place where you met?
Yes.
Okay.
And then he started to say, the purple is not pumping up. Okay, I say, well, the light changed, so you can put some light in, and it will change the color. It's not that it's washing out. It depends of the light that is the color you are going to get. I said, you are not completely happy. That is why I give you my number. You have the website. You can choose from 60 paintings that I have on stock. And
If you're
we
not
can-
completely happy, I'll give you your money back.
Exactly.
All
Yes.
right. And?
Yes, but they said, okay. Then he started to test me, sending message from different phone numbers.
Saying what?
I need to see you. I need to give you the painting back.
Right.
And he really got crazy trying to see me at night. And I said, no way. I don't want to meet you. I got really freaking out. His behavior was very weird. And
What
I
was
said,
so weird? He wanted the money back that you said you'd give him, so what was weird?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Craigslist. Is it risky or is it awesome?
Very risky.
Why?
You're taking a chance. You don't know who you're purchasing. You don't know what you're purchasing or who you're buying
A
from.
way of protecting yourself on Craigslist?
Is don't buy it.
Don't buy it. I mean, is it good enough that there's a way of protecting yourself that you're not going to get scammed?
I am not sure that there is any way to protect yourself on Craigslist.
Really? Wow, a bunch of skeptics here. Huh. Okay, going inside the courtroom.
what was weird was he starting to call me from different numbers. And
Were you
sending-
ignoring him when he would call from his own number?
No, I say, okay, I told you we will meet one day, give me time, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. No, he started to say, insisting, no, I wanted to give you the painting back. I don't care the money. You give me the money back later.
Right, so what was wrong with that?
Well, he wanted to meet me at night and start.
So why didn't you just say, meet me in the day?
I told him, wait until we get together and get your money back or change it, whatever. But he was really insistent to see me, and he was harassing me.
How was he harassing you?
He went to my house.
How did he go to
without
your
inviting-
house?
I don't know.
How did he find your house?
I don't know. I don't have
How
it
did
yet.
you find
I
her
never
house?
give him my
I
address.
looked her name up in the phone book. It's the only shoe in the phone
You
book.
had to go through a series of complicated, go under the bridge and ask the trolls 3 questions and go to, hey, you're listed. So he went to your house, and then were you home when he went to your house?
No, I was in labor and delivery. I was working. Labor and delivery.
Oh.
At the
I
hospital.
thought you were in labor.
No.
I'm like, you look great. Okay. So he went to your house, and who did he talk to?
To my stepson,
How old's your stepson?
21.
Okay. So he's talking to your stepson and saying what? How do you find out? Your stepson tells you?
Yes.
Okay. And then you just don't want to deal with him anymore.
No, I came back home. I found his phone number.
Okay.
One.
Can I see the texts?
I don't have them on the phone. I do have copies of them. It does have.
All right.
this-
Let me see what you have. Why would you get rid of texts that you're going to use in court from your phone?
No, I think it was.
Do you have the text? Do you have the text
No.
in your phone?
No, it was phone call from different numbers without ID. He started going crazy.
I have no problem taking it back. The price I gave you was a fraction of the original price. Please keep it for a few weeks. If you still love it, I will refund you. He's talking about how it doesn't go with his decor. The colors don't pop. I don't know what more popping you want. The colors don't pop. Like in your online photo, I was hoping you would take it back. It means more to you than it means to me. So he texts you, let's meet today so I can give you the, not tonight, today so I can give you the painting. I'd rather you take it so you can resell it, then you can pay me on the 15th. April 15th at 4 p.m., you say that you're going to meet him. What happens there? That's a month and something after you'd said you'd return his money.
Because the next few days, he started to act weird.
Okay, return
and
his money.
He didn't give me
Look,
any
no,
time.
let me tell you something. And here's the thing. Here's what the thing is. At the time of the transaction, there's no discussion about refunds or return policies or anything else. If that's all we had, and you had said to him, I'm sorry, sir, I don't take returns, this case would be over. You would win, and you would be eating the painting. That's how it would work. But what I have instead, I have a series of actions where you make a promise to him, and then you don't abide by the promise. The only reason the man has to keep calling you is because you're not doing what you said you'd do. So he invests time and energy, and based on your promise, he is traveling places based on your texts and your representations. He is trying to do what you are saying, and he's expending energy and time doing the thing you said you would do, which is essentially a new settlement and agreement between the two of you, and then you don't abide by it, and you don't show up on April 15th at 4, and you don't take the painting back. And yeah, then he creeps you out after that because he shows up at your house, which is kind of creepy, but he wants to give you back the painting, and he wants his $300. Did you give her $280 or $300?
$300.
Before that, he was getting crazy. Before the 3 weeks.
Before you tell him I'll meet you on April 15th at 4 o'clock?
Exactly.
Yeah, well, why didn't you just meet him on April 15th and then you'd be rid of him? Of his crazy behavior would be over with, because there'd be nothing for him to talk to you about anymore if you just did what you said you were going to do. I am ordering you to take back the painting. I'm ordering you to pay him back the $300. $300 verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you.
So the plaintiff prevails. He gets his $300 back. Ms. Hsu, the defendant's on her way out of the courtroom with the painting. Did you ever find out specifically what he didn't like about the painting?
He said that the purple didn't pump up.
The purple wasn't purple enough?
Yeah.
Did you offer to make another painting for him? I guess
did.
if you did this one, you could do another one, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I did.
Well, maybe if you do another one, you could get him to buy it. Charge him more next time, right?
No.
All right. Take the painting,
Thank
and
you.
you must sign some documents in the back.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Officer
you.
McIntosh is waiting for you. Here comes Mr. Strong. What about that? Would you want her to paint another painting? You obviously liked it.
No,
No?
there's two
You don't want it now?
misagreements there. with
Okay.
her.
You happy with the decision?
I'm happy with the decision.
Finally, you got your money
Couldn't
back.
find my text on the phone.
Oh,
but-
that's all right. Don't worry about it. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Harvey, what do you think?
When you're buying from Craigslist or really anybody else, you should get a very specific list of what it is you're buying. Details about the product and pictures are key. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Get into your body's vitals with the Vitals app on Apple Watch.
I wanna get into my body and let my skin do the talking. I wanna feel like I'm myself again.
The Vitals app tracks key overnight metrics so you can spot changes in your health before you feel them. The Vitals app on Apple Watch. iPhone XS or later required. The Vitals app is for wellness purposes only and not for medical use.
This is the plaintiff, Ronell Rifkin. He says he hired the defendant to fix a tiny dent in his car, and the inept guy lost the key. The key to his car is very expensive. The defendant's being a jerk about the whole thing, so he's suing him here and now for every penny of the $1,091.18 he's definitely owed. This is the defendant, Francesco Cuomo. He says the plaintiff has a keyless type start car, and the car can only be started if the key's in the car or in the person's pocket. He fixed the dent, left the key in the cup holder, and the plaintiff drove away. An hour later, he gets a call from the plaintiff who says he's at a car wash and his key is missing, and that is somehow his fault? Come on. He's accused of a key caper.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff hired the defendant to repair his car, says the defendant lost the key. But the defendant says the plaintiff had the key, and there's absolute proof. It's the case of we have ignition, we have lawsuit.
Thank you, Douglas. Ronell Rifkin?
Yes,
you are suing Francesco Cuomo, doing business as Dent Terminator, for $1,091.18. The cost of 2 sets of car keys, plus your gas money, plus $95 for wasting your day. Okay, I don't know how you came up with the exact $95. All right, tell me what happened here.
I had a dent in my car. I look up on Google, where can I get my dent fixed? I found his business listed, so I go there. I went there, I left the car, and when I come back, the car was ready. But I started the car with the door being opened. But the car...
You have keyless go, right?
Correct.
Okay, which is a feature that allows your car to start when it's in contact with the key in the area, just like remotely,
correct.
Right? Okay, go on.
So the car began, and right after I was planning to go to the car wash, I did, and right as I opened the door, the car is telling me that there's no key in the car. And
how is the car telling you that?
It gives me like an indicator.
A display.
Like a display.
The words are displayed on your dashboard that they're, okay. What car do you drive?
An Audi.
Okay. So you get to the car wash and what happens? You get there and immediately it says key not detected?
The employee asked for the keys, and I'm saying that, and I'm looking all over the car, there's no keys. And in addition, it was saying that there was no keys in the car.
Right, so what do?
I call Mr. Cuomo. And I asked him if the keys were by any chance in the shop. Let's go look around for it, and we looked.
Wait, did you get your car washed or didn't you?
I did.
Oh, you did?
I did, yeah.
You actually got your car washed?
I actually got my car. I was already there.
But you noticed that the key, the disaster with the key, you noticed beforehand, but you stayed and got your car washed.
I already paid for it, yes. I was going to go along with it.
So then you drive, the car keeps running, because if you turn off the car with keyless go and the key is not there, you can't turn it back on.
Correct. Yeah.
Why is that, do you suppose? Because the key has to be in the car for it to start.
Correct, but
right.
But then again.
So it's which came first, the chicken or the egg? He calls you and he says the key is not here.
Yes.
Do you have it in the shop?
Yeah, he was asking me if I have the keys, and I said I don't have the keys. I said usually when a car comes in, I always leave the keys inside the car, especially if it's a keyless entry, because people, they keep the keys in their pocket, they walk away. I say, excuse me, where's the keys? Oh, let me give it to you.
Yeah,
so I take the keys.
I do that every single time I valet a car.
Right, exactly.
Without fail.
So I open the door, I drop the keys over there, I close the door, I do what I gotta do, and that's it. Everything went very simple till the end. When he came, we shake hands and everything was fine. It was at the end of the day. We drive home. I was almost home. When he called me, I answered the phone, and he said, "You got my keys." I said, "I don't have no keys." I said, "I left the keys by the cup holder on your car."
In the cup holder of the car,
Yeah.
okay.
He said, "Oh, here, I don't have the keys. I don't have the keys. Please come back." So kindly, I told my wife I'm going to be a little bit later for dinner, so I have to go back to the shop because we have a little situation that's going on right now. And so that's what I did. I drove her back. I opened the shop. And I said, "You're welcome to look any place you want." So, I felt very bad about the situation. Right. And like I said, if the key will be here, they will be here. There's no keys over here, and I know I'm the only person I work in this car. Then the keys, it wasn't there. And then my question was, how'd you drive out?
How did you drive out? How did the car
How'd
start?
you drive out with no keys? So he was saying, no, the car would start also if I'm 6 feet away, he was right next to me, and maybe the car started, this and that. I said, I don't know about that, but we have some evidence about, a couple of things we tried to get from Audi.
Okay.
That shows it, like, I got a quick video. Then
you got a video? Let me see the video. Ooh, he did his homework. I love litigants who do their homework.
Yeah, and also, this is the paperwork, the chat with the company.
Okay, so we have a video. Oh, Phase 2 Auto Eddie is calling you.
No.
Hello, Francesco's in court right now. He'll get right back to you.
So, are you buying this guy's story that he gets to the car wash, realizes there's no key, but lets it go through the car wash?
No, I'm not buying it at all. It's just not making any sense at all. Why would you leave the car wash?
Do you think he lost the key or the repair shop lost the key?
He lost the key.
What about this argument about the car wash? You buying it?
No.
You buying it?
I don't think so.
Anybody buying it? Anybody buying it? Okay, go to inside the courtroom.
The keys by the cup holder. Okay. I close the door. Start the car. I open the window. Okay. The car is running. Okay. Now I shut it off with the car. And what I do, I take the keys and I put it out the window. Try once. I tried 3 times. Show what it says. Keys are not recognized. Okay? So that means
this is killing you.
The keys are now inside. So when I put the keys inside.
He's literally just holding the key outside the window. It has to break the barrier of the car door in order to start. You know that. Why are you suing this guy?
What is this video? What is this?
The video's burying you. It's basically a play-by-play of what happens with the key on an Audi. Okay? You're inside with the key, it starts. He holds the key outside the window, it doesn't start. Brings it in, it starts. Outside, it doesn't start.
What if the door is open?
That's the idea behind keyless go, is that the key has to be on the inside to start, which means, which is bad for you, that for you to have started your car and left his place, your key was in your car. It doesn't start because your key is somewhere else, otherwise people could steal your car. If you're just standing there and your car's gonna start, a thief can jump in your car and take it away. Like, why would you think that's how the car is set up? And by the way, just because I can't let you leave without explaining this to me. Why would he have to buy you 2 sets of car keys? Because you're suing for double. You're suing for 2 sets of new car keys. How would
Someone out there has my car key.
Well, but if he lost anything, he lost 1 set. Why do you get 2 sets of car keys?
Well, I need to.
You'd like to?
Well, I would like to have 2.
Yeah, no, I'd like to have 10. I'd like to have $10 million.
I can't.
Dude, you're dead. And then on top of that, you're so clever. He chatted with Audi, on their customer service line and asked them this entire story, pretending he's an Audi owner. But I don't know where your keys are. Let me tell you where they're not at his place. And he doesn't have to buy you not 1, but 2 sets of new car keys. Verdict for the defendant.
So the plaintiff loses his case. He's on his way out of the courtroom. As Judge Mullion put it, dude, you're done. It just didn't work. How long have you had the car?
A year.
And you're just now realizing how the keyless thing works? And his evidence was really good. That cooked your goose. Okay? Sorry about that. Who knows? Your keys are still out there. Go look. Maybe they're somewhere else. Okay?
Maybe.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our Officer McIntosh has some documents you must sign. Now here comes Mr. Cuomo. This was, it's kind of a crazy case, but great work on your part to get the video.
Thank you.
I mean, that was good thinking.
Honestly, for 25 years in business, this is the first time something like this has really happened in my life. And I feel very bad for him, but like I told him from the beginning, I have no clue at all where you put the keys.
Well, look, you did the right thing. Congratulations. It's a shame you had to end up in court over this. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You must sign some documents, too. Let's see what our legal beagle, Harvey Levin, has to say.
Doug, the defendant was so smart getting video and audio. This is the kind of stuff that wins cases. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
All right, here we go.
New Phineas and Ferb is here.
We're back, baby.
For 104 more days.
I know what we're gonna do today.
Of summer vacation.
I am ready for summer shenanigans. Let's do it. Oh, yeah.
All right. We're gonna bust Phineas and Ferb once and for all.
Are we gonna do this again?
New inventions, shenanigans, innators, adventures, and songs.
Brand new summer vacation.
New Phineas and Ferb starts June 5th on Disney Channel and next day on Disney Plus. On DisneyPlus.Disney.com.
These are the plaintiffs, Giovanni Hernandez and Roderick Leonard. Roderick says he and his fiancée rented a house from the defendant, and when they moved out, their security wasn't returned, and they were handed a bill for smoke damage. The defendant knew they were smokers when they signed the lease. They thought the defendant was a fair person when they moved in, but now they see he's a greedy man who's trying to take advantage of them. They're suing for $2,232.78, the amount owed. This is the defendant, Bethel Barker. He says the plaintiffs were a lovely couple the first year they lived there, but Roderick became belligerent when he told him he couldn't have a pit bull in the house. Regardless, they got the pit bull. The neighbors started complaining, and soon after they moved out. He had every right to take their security for damages, unpaid rent, and he also put them into collections because he still owed money they refused to pay. He's accused of taking advantage of tenants. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $2,274.77 for additional repairs.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiffs rented a house from the defendant and got dinged for smoke damage, even though the defendant knew they smoked when they moved in. Now, the defendant says the plaintiff turned nasty when he wouldn't let him get a pit bull. It's the case of what are you smoking?
Thank you, Douglas. Giovanni Hernandez and Roderick Leonard, you are suing Bethel Barker and K&B Rentals, your former landlord, for $2,232.78, your security deposit, plus extra damages. All right. You have a counterclaim against them for $2,274.77 for the rest of your cleaning, some bills, and rent. Talk to me. Let's hear from you first on this.
Yes, ma'am. On October the 18th of 2014, signed a year lease with Mr. Barker, K&B Rentals. And as we were sitting down, I asked him about smoking, and he told me the apartment that we had was a smoking facility.
Was a what?
Smoking facility.
Is that in your lease?
Well, it's not written anywhere in the lease about smoking nor non-smoking. I went the whole lease. I paid the whole lease for a whole year. Stayed there a year. It was a nice year there, and until it got to the end, and some tenants got upset because he raised their rent, and Giovanni happened to have one of her friends' dogs right next door. It was an apartment like here. We was on the end of the townhouse, and then there's another set of apartments somebody owned, which is approximately maybe 10 feet from.
How long did you have the pit bull?
Actually, the pit bull didn't stay with me. It lived next door. It would just come over.
How would it come over?
Because I knew the lady.
How would it get from its place to your place where you can't have a pet?
Me and the lady would talk, so she would come outside. The dog would be outside. On the porch.
Of your porch?
Yes.
On a leash or without a leash?
With a leash.
all right.
But
So-
when I called him,
And according to you, why do you think that they actually had the pet living with them?
Because the neighbors kept complaining and said that they made a big issue out of showing it off when they first got it, and that they had to clean up after it because they would not clean up after it. And I kept driving by hoping to see it personally, but I never did. But I did get quite a few calls from their neighbors concerning this dog. And then when I went down there around the 5th of October of 2015 and went to discuss it with them, they personally did tell me that they were pet sitting this dog daily for most of the days. And I told them, I said, well, your rules and your lease clearly states if you have a pet in there for any reason, that pet sitting is not a justified reason, that you have to pay this pet fee.
And the pet fee was what?
It's $100 a month from the day they signed the lease forward.
Well, no, it would be from the day they got a pet forward.
But I never know when they have.
Well, I know. Well,
Because
that's unfortunate for you. You cannot say to me, since I can't prove what date they had it, I'm just going to say that they had it a year ago. So that's not how that works.
I had them
Let me
sign
hold
it,
on,
yeah.
hold on. Let me hear from you on the issue with the security deposit. You had a $1,200 security deposit, and you. Do you do a walkthrough when you leave or not really?
well, this was my first time renting ever. I'm from Alabama, and I mostly stay in homes that my family own. And
Is that an Alabama thing? People don't rent in Alabama?
Yes. Well, we down there, most people own their own homes, and then they help their kids get a home or, supply it for them. But I never had
my children are going to subscribe to the Alabama theory. Go ahead.
But I got a letter, which is right here, from a collection agency, and he was telling me that I owed him $1,000. And he
How do you have a letter from a collection agency when no one has, like, how does that work?
I give them 30 days to respond to the letter they get if their damages exceed their deposit. And if I don't hear back from them, then I turn it over to my collection agency, and then they try to get in touch with them.
Okay, so it's not on a credit reporting
I just
site.
turn
It's
it in.
just people you hire to try to get money that you feel you are owed.
It's a debt
now,
collection agency.
what were the damages? I'm going to give you a chance to speak, honey. I know you're about to burst.
No.
I know. Hold on. We'll be with you in one moment.
Well, you got
What are the damages that you say they did that would
Okay.
justify you keeping $1,200 plus suing for another $2,200?
Well, when they moved in, I'm sure they'll contest to it. The fact it was just recently remodeled, and I spent about $12,000 to $14,000 on that particular apartment. I have the pictures of it, and you can see the apartment was really nice, and these are pictures of the apartment when they moved in. So you can see it had all the nice woodwork, it had a nice new furnace and hot water tank.
Here, I'm going to go down there. It'll be easier.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can see they moved into a really, really nice place.
Okay.
So then when they moved out, they did not pay their last month's rent. They only give me a verbal notice of 20 days. They're required to give me a 30-day written notice when they pay their last
By the
month's rent.
time that they left, were they on a month-to-month or were they
They
still
were
under the
on
lease?
month-to-month, but the month-to-month still says they still have to follow all the guidelines of the lease, requiring a 30-day written notice, him calling me on the 20th of the
Okay,
month.
first of all, let me just tell you, you are wrong. When a lease ends, it ends. So your lease doesn't survive in perpetuity forever. That's not how it works. You need to get another lease if you want that. But that's not of no moment. That is not of any moment here.
All right.
This is how they left it.
So I had to get this out of the basement. I had to remove the stove to get that out of the basement. You can see
You had to remove the what?
The stove, because the stove's at the top of the basement steps. People moved in.
How did you guys get that sofa in?
Just picked it up and set it over the stove, and then the door was open, and then just flipped it on in the door.
Oh, you have more than one person. You
Yes,
had a
ma'am.
couple
Yes,
people.
people.
All right, go on.
This blind is a blind I have here. It shows that little chip, so it testifies that that is the blind. And this
Let me
was
see.
after
Can you
they-
bring that? Let me.
Yeah, and this is after they moved out.
Okay.
So, and then the blind is right here. And you can see that it's got a lot of nicotine all over it. And this is the blind that come off
Question,
that front door.
did you know that they were smokers? Or
No.
they or he?
I didn't know it, but
Oh, no. Are you both smokers?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And mostly we smoked outside.
Right. And that may be what he was expecting, that you might smoke outside.
okay. but you can see that this is what I end up with on all my walls and everything. You can see that this was a brand-new blind when they moved in, and you can see when all your walls look like this, when all your walls look like this, you have to clean it off. That's nicotine.
No, that's wet. That's like, I mean, that's...
This is how it is. There's that same chip, and that's the chip that's in the picture.
Okay.
And you can just see the gunky stuff on it. It's not like I can do that to a blind.
No.
You know? And when you move into a place that has brand new semi-gloss washable paint on everything, and we have to go in, and you cannot paint over nicotine. If you paint over nicotine, it's going to soak through. You have to get that off.
So first you clean it, but why do you have to paint? If you clean it, that doesn't take away the
No, because it leaves a big smeary look, and it leaves the smell, too.
This is why I never dated a smoker. All right. So according to you, you had to spend $1,000 in cleaning. I saw the bill from MJ. It was $750 to paint and $250 to clean.
And I provide them material.
Then you had to spend $60 to get two people to get the sofa out that they left behind. And then you're suing also for November rent. Because according to you, they were there in November, didn't pay it, or...
Well, they were there 5 days, but they did not get proper notice because the lease clearly states it's a month-to-month following the term of the lease.
And you're also suing for late fees, but those late fees are based on what you have in the lease.
Well, they didn't even give me the keys back until the 5th, which is past the late date.
Right, but you're suing for $140 in late fees based on what your lease says.
Yeah.
All right, and then, but you're also suing for an additional $300 for cleaning.
Their MJ bill was $1,000, but it says clearly right on the bill that it does not include paint and material. I provide the paint material.
Okay, but in your lawsuit, what you say is another $300 for cleaning. What did you mean?
I guess
you have the receipt for the paint and material.
I buy everything in bulk.
Do you have the? Okay, so the answer is no. You don't have any. Okay.
And I actually took a picture of my storage place because I buy all my cleaning supplies in bulk, and I buy all my paint supplies in bulk.
All right, now the water bill you're not contesting, right? You owe a water bill. It just came after you left.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, now, who broke the shade?
I did.
Okay.
I broke the shade.
All right.
I broke it.
But there is like a filmy, gunky substance on it. Where was that shade? What?
It was at the front door.
Why was it so dirty? Why was it like?
Sometimes we had the front door open. You know, we had the front.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it that dirty. Like, you know, he says that's the nicotine and that's the smoke.
No, man, that's not. I mean, have you had that tested to really say that is nicotine?
No,
I mean,
but if I show it to you, will you be able to tell me what it is since it's your mouth?
Yes. How can you do that?
I would be able to.
Okay, let's bring that over there to her and let's see if she can tell me what's on it.
Because I'm always in the living room, and that was over the door to the living room.
Got it. Okay.
So if a landlord allows you to smoke, can the landlord charge you for smoke damage? That's the question.
No, he cannot.
Really? Why?
Because he allowed me to smoke.
He allowed you to smoke, but if the walls turn yellow, what about that?
It's the landlord's responsibility because they allowed it to happen.
Huh. Going inside the courtroom.
I know what that was.
That was from the barbecue. We had a barbecue when my mom came over.
And the barbecue, so nobody cleaned it. All right, so the barbecue is right on the front porch or whatever?
That's barbecue sauce, not nicotine sauce.
Well, it looks like grease spatter is what it does look like. Okay. Why did you leave the sofa behind?
Because
it's a pain to move?
No, ma'am.
So you want to make it his pain?
No, ma'am. It was in such great condition that I figured that in the basement that, you know, somebody would use it.
Yeah, but you can't figure that. You got to ask.
Yes, ma'am.
When did you give him notice that you were moving to the other place?
I gave him notice about 2 weeks into the month of October.
So you're supposed to give 30 days notice.
I thought we had agreement that.
And why would he owe you why would they owe you $140 in late fees when you have their security deposit?
Because the first thing I do with security deposits deal with the damages to the apartment.
Okay. This is from Elizabeth Frisco, one of your neighbors. This letter is to inform me of my knowledge of a pit bull residing with Noni. That's you? You're Noni? From midsummer 2015 onward until she and Roger vacated the premises. Noni brought that dog home and made a big show of introducing it to all our neighbors with the statement that Mr. Barker gave her permission to have that dog in their apartment. When asked, Noni responded by saying that she did not have to pay a pet deposit or an additional monthly fee for keeping such a large dog. Every time Noni had the dog outside, it ran without a leash. I was concerned about our neighbor family with 4 small children. The dog trampled my flowers and crapped in my yard. Okay. Wow. Which Noni did nothing to remedy. You don't get along with her, right?
No, right.
No, actually, Your Honor, it was the ladies next door's dog.
Yeah, that's very convenient.
No,
okay.
It was her dog, and her dog.
If you have her dog at your place enough to have neighbors complaining, then it's your dog.
No, because she would come over every day as soon as she bring her out.
Then you're having a dog. That's the idea, is that you're not supposed to have the dog in your place, and then
But
you're
she
having
wants
the
to-
dog every day in your place. That's you having a dog. But anyway, I need everybody to stop talking for one moment here. There are some expenses I believe that you should be able to recover, and there are some that I do not. I see the only receipt that you've handed me is from MJ, and MJ already has $250 for cleaning in there. When I asked you about the additional cleaning, you're telling me, well, that's for paint, but you have no receipts. The late fee, you had the security deposit, and you don't get to charge the late fee that you had said you would charge in a prior lease that was not in effect at the time of the event. You get the water bills, you get the sofa removal. So I find that you are entitled to a total of $1,692.78, of which you already have $1,200. And therefore, I find in this lawsuit a net judgment in your favor that the plaintiffs must pay you, taking care of both the claim and the counterclaim, of $492.78 net judgment for the defendant. That's my judgment.
So we're gonna pay him.
So the defendant prevails. He only gets $400 of the more than $2,000 he was countersuing for. The plaintiffs have just come out. You were suing for more than $2,000. You don't get anything. Are you happy?
Well, I'm not upset about it. Actually, I'm glad it's here because I wanted to expose the landlords for the unfair renting tactics that they're doing. And this is just a beginning step. It's happening everywhere.
Well, I don't know if the judge agrees with you there. Obviously, she didn't give you anything, so it was a net loss for you to come to court. Yes. Thanks anyway. We appreciate it. You have some documents you must sign. Now, here comes our defendant, Mr. Barker. You didn't get very much. You only got $400 back. How do you feel about it?
Well, I don't know. I think when people sign contracts and agree to certain things, I think they should be held up to what they sign.
Okay. Bottom line, have you learned anything from this?
Yeah, I might have people sign leases every year instead of just letting them go month to month, which is not as convenient for the tenants. I do that as a favor for the tenants, but if it's going to hurt me in the long haul, then I may not do it if it's not forcible.
Very good, sir. Thank you very much. Right, you two must sign some documents in the back.
Thank you.
And Harvey, your turn.
Okay, Doug, what are you guys thinking? Are you kidding me? The landlord, of course, can charge for damage if there are cigarette burns on the carpet, or even if the walls are turning yellow prematurely. Just because you have a right to do it doesn't mean you don't have to pay the damage. It's like having a dog that pees all over the carpet. You pay for the pee, period.